So this is China's long-term plan for the Philippines. This is apparently breaking news and latest news. A lot of people started linking this over, especially after my last video. So I clicked this video and it looks really intriguing and honestly made me want to check it out, especially considering I love the Philippines. I've been to the Philippines. I'm sure you guys know, but in case you didn't, I've been there for a while and absolutely love it. Planning to go back again. Awesome. Regardless, I'm curious to see this, man. A lot's been going on, so let's see this together, yeah? Let's go.
Ang Pilipinas, isang bansang sagana sa likas na
So
yaman,
beautiful.
estratehikong lokasyon at masayahing mga mamamayan. Ngunit sa likod ng mga magagandang ngiti at masiglang ekonomiya, may isang anino na palaging nakamasid. Isang
course.
bansang naghahangad ng kapangyarihan, impluwensya at kontrol. Ang China. At ngayon, kumakalat ang mga ulap tungkol sa lihim na plano ng China para sa Pilipinas. Mga plano na kung totoo, maaaring magpabago sa kinabukasan ng bansa at ng buong Asya.
Of course.
Ano nga ba ang plano na ito? At dapat bang mangamba ang mga Pilipino? Bago po nating sagutin ang mga tanong na yan, inaanyahan ko po kayo na i-like ang video na ito
Maraming
dahil isa
salamat
po
po.
yung napakalaking tulong para sa aming mga content creator. Maraming salamat po.
Grabe. Maraming salamat po. Every time I see this, man, these videos piss me off. Every time I see that. Like, the fact that this happened to so many people, like fishermen from the Philippines, minding their business, getting attacked by like bigger ships with bigger egos. Like, it's just like, it irks me.
Hindi linid sa kaalaman ng marami na ang Pilipinas ay matatagpuan sa silangang bahagi ng isa sa pinakaimportanteng ruta ng kalakalan sa buong mundo,
Yeah.
ang South China Sea. Pinapayang mahigit $3 trillion ng kalakal ang dumaraan dito kada taon. At kung sino ang may kontrol dito, may kontrol sa ekonomiya ng rehiyon. Ayon kay Professor Richard Heydarian, isang political analyst,
the Philippines is the gateway to Asia. Whoever controls it holds the key to the region's trade, security, and economy.
kaya't hindi katakataka kung bakit mahalaga ang Pilipinas. Hindi lang sa mapa ng Amerika at mga kaalyado nito, kundi lalo na sa China. Ngunit hindi lamang kalakalan ang nakasalalay rito. Malaki rin ang papel ng Pilipinas sa larangan ng seguridad at militar.
Yeah.
Kung mapapansin natin, palaging tampok sa mga balita ang pagtatayo ng China ng mga artificial islands at military bases sa South China Sea. Ngunit bakit tila sobra ang interes nila sa Pilipinas?
Well, trillions of dollars passing through there, China wanting to get that place or that area. If you do the math, it's kind of like they want to own a specific area that'll make them stronger and make them more powerful, right? Because if China is already powerful and then you get even more owning a place that the Philippines owns that's extremely powerful, you just become a powerhouse. Like you become incredibly important, even more important than you already are, right? But that's too much. Like there's a reason why the Philippines is important in what they do, the people they provide. But and then they also have this territory that is crucial to the economy. They want that.
Ayon kay Dr. J. Batong Bakal, isang eksperto sa maritime affairs,
the Philippines is not just a neighbor of China.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a strategic outpost. If China establishes influence here, it can project power deeper into the Pacific.
ibig sabihin kung makakapagtatag ng mas malaking impluwensya ang China sa Pilipinas, mas madali nilang mapapalawak ang kanilang presensya hindi lamang sa Asya, kundi pati na rin sa mas malalayong karagatan. Kung sa dagat ay nagpapakita ng lakas ang China, sa lupa naman, gumagamit sila ng mas tahimik ngunit mas tusyong paraan. Ang ekonomiya. Kung ating susuriin, maraming negosyong may koneksyon sa China ang pumapasok sa Pilipinas. Mula sa mga online gaming hubs, real estate investments, hanggang sa malaking infrastructure projects. Ang ilan ay nagsasabing nakakatulong ito sa ekonomiya ng bansa. Ngunit may ilang eksperto ang nagbabala na maaari rin itong maging paraan ng China para unti-unting kontrolin ang mahalagang sektor ng Pilipinas.
Yeah, what they want is for you to stay in debt, continuously owe them. And then what happens is when you continuously owe China, they own you in that sense, right? It's that exact concept. So then when you don't really stand down to it, you're like, I don't want your money to build this. Like, we'll do it. Then they're like, oh, well, we tried the secretive way where like, we kind of give you this money and then you owe us constantly forever. Now, what do?
Ayon kay dating Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio,
economic dependence can lead to political dependence. Once a country is trapped, it loses the freedom to make independent decisions.
Sa madaling salita, maaaring ang nakikitang pag-unlad ay unti-unting nagiging tali na mag-uugnay sa Pilipinas at sa kapangyarihan ng Beijing. Ngunit, hindi lahat ng plano ay nakikita sa dagat o sa lupa. Minsan, nakatago ito sa malalambing na salita at makukulay na proyekto. Ang China ay kilala sa paggamit ng tinatawag na soft power. Ibig sabihin, sa halip na direktang puwersa, ginagamit nila ang kultura, edukasyon at diplomasya upang dahan-dahang makuha ang tiwala ng ibang bansa. Isang halimbawa nito ay ang pagdami ng mga Chinese cultural centers at Confucius Institutes sa Pilipinas. Layunin umano ng mga ito na palakasin ang ugnayan ng dalawang bansa. Ngunit, ayon kay Dr. Chester Cabalza, isang security analyst,
diplomacy is not always innocent. Sometimes it's a velvet glove hiding an iron fist.
Marami ring Pilipino ang naaakit sa murang produkto, sa teknolohiya at maging sa scholarship programs na inaalok ng Beijing. Ngunit babala ng mga eksperto, ito ay bahagi rin ng mas malawak na estratehiya. Kapag nasanay ang isang henerasyon ng Pilipino na laging nakaasa sa China, mas madali silang maiimpluwensyahan sa mga desisyong pampolitika. Habang abala ang mga Pilipino sa araw-araw na buhay, sa likod ng mga saradong pinto, may mga usapan at kasunduang nadaganap. Mga kasunduan na minsan ay hindi agad nalalaman ng publiko. May mga ulat na ang ilang opisyal ng Pilipinas ay tinatarget ng China sa pamamagitan ng pabor, pangako ng investment o iba pang uri ng soft pressure. Sa unang tingin, tila mabait at mapagbigay. Ngunit kung susuriing mabuti, ito isang paraan upang masigurong kapag dumating ang kritikal na panahon, ang desisyon ng ilan ay pabor na sa Beijing. Ayon kay Malcolm Cook, isang political scientist,
China's long-term strategy in the Philippines is not about winning in one move.
Yeah, it's multiple.
It is about influencing decisions over decades.
Isang marahang laro ng chess kung saan ang bawat hakbang ay may tiyak na layunin. Ngunit marahil ang pinakamalaking panganib ay hindi mula sa panlabas, kundi mula mismo sa loob ng bansa. Kapag ang mga Pilipino ay nagkaroon ng magkakaibang pananaw tungkol sa China, may mga kumakampi, may mga mariing tumututol, dito pumapasok ang tinatawag na divide and conquer. Mas madaling pasukin ang isang bansang nag-aaway-away kaysa sa isang bansang nagkakaisa. Ayon kay dating Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario,
the greatest defense of a small nation is unity. Without it, even the strongest alliances cannot protect us.
Kaya't kung ang mga Pilipino mismo ay hindi magkaisa, mas nagiging madali para sa mga banyaga na magdikta ng kanilang kapangyarihan. At ngayon, narito tayo sa pinakamahalagang tanong. Ano ang magiging hinaharap ng Pilipinas? Dapat ba talagang mangamba ang mga Pilipino sa lihim na plano ng China?
I mean...
Ang sagot, depende.
Yeah, depends.
Depende kung ang mga Pilipino ay mananatiling bulag at walang pakialam. Depende kung hahayaan nilang ang ekonomiya, politika at kultura ay tuluyang balutin ng banyagang impluensya. Ngunit kung ang Pilipinas ay magiging mulat, mapagmatyag, at higit sa lahat, nagkakaisa, maaaring maging iba ang kapalaran nito. Sa halip na maging biktima, maaari itong maging haligi ng balanse sa Asya.
Absolutely.
Isang bansang kayang pumili ng sariling landas. Isang bansang hindi basta-basta mauutusan. At isang bansang handang ipaglaban ang kinabukasan ng
The Philippines has all the tools, but they just need to use it. We've seen it, and I think I bring this up a lot. BGC is a great example. Most people, when they think of the Philippines, if they've never even seen the Philippines or visited the Philippines, I have to sometimes tell them, like, hey, man, having been in the Philippines, some people would think, like, oh, it's just like, oh, like third world country or this or that. I'm like, listen, when you go, not only do you see so many beautiful things in the Philippines, like BGC, or so much potential in its people and the respect and everything. It is not what you expect. There's videos online I've seen of like streamers having gone to the Philippines. They go in BGC. They're like, I did not expect the Philippines to be like this, because it shows you its potential. The potential of the Philippines is all there. They have all the tools. It's just about how long will they wait until they use it consistently throughout. And it's one of those things that this is why I love the Philippines and believe in them so much. It's people. They already have that foundation of people, right? The people, excellent people, hardworking people, and they have the tools, and they have the position. It just depends on what they decide.
Sunod na henerasyon. Ngayon, oras na para marinig ang boses mo, katropa. Sa tingin mo, ano ang pinakamabuting gawin ng Pilipinas para labanan ang impluensya ng China? Magkaisa at tumayo sa sariling paa o dumipende sa kapangyarihan ng Amerika? I-comment lang.
To be honest, I think it depends, right? Because even after what America did a long time ago, these are things, I mean, the same applies to like Japan. Like Japan and America had a horrific fight and we moved on. That's the whole point. Moving on is a big thing, but it depends on the not only influence, but it depends on, in my personal opinion, it depends on the intention. And I think America's intention is a lot less scary or iron fist over the Philippines. Is, you know, you don't even notice much going on, and especially conflict or anything else, or trying to own something, right? It's a lot more calm versus China being right next to each other. It's like very consistent, like a tax, this. Then you start to notice, okay, China's influence versus America's. If you were to choose, obviously you guys would side with America mainly because of the fact that China has a lot more of a scary intention, as you can notice. And it's crazy, man, what's going on. But obviously you guys let me know your thoughts. I love you guys. Thank you for linking this over. And yeah, till next time, peace. How good you been living? Wait, how good you been living? I've been living too good for you. I've been living too. Did what I did and I do it again. Every move that I make, I ain't feeling repent. Nobody believes to believe it's a friend, and you question your moves like you really won't end. Really?